is enough, and it's time for a change.
It is Sunday, and you're listening to the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast.
Give me a hell yeah! Get some love!
Woo, yeah!
With Kinny Killa.
Hey yo!
We're in the big D tonight, baby, and we are live! Woo!
I'm the gal them sugar should.
The best there is, the best there was, and the best ever will be! Cause that's the bottom line! The Stone Cold said so!
Oh, son of a bitch, if you just heard the glass shatter, that's right. It is Sunday. It's the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast, episode 93, and we are here on TRN, the Talking Wrestling Network, and I'm the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, the one man with no Instagram, Kinny Killa. Happy New Year to all the seconds out there, and as always, I am kicking it with the hashtag tech guy, the Galdem Sugar Shugs.
Yo, yo.
Now, it's my arch nemesis, who has made his way onto the show for the Beat the Clock final. That's right, my fellow Bristolian, the host of Access Analysis. That's right, it is Darren Dyer.
I made the best Bristolian win.
Yes,
sure I
indeed. And also, I have my favourite brother from another in London town. That's right, from Barnet. I think it's Barnet anyway, if I remember rightly. It is Barnet. The master of the Top Rope album, Mr. Steve Dawson.
Good morning, everyone.
Thank you very much for doing the Ollie Gunnar Soul show for me and busting in the super sub.
No worries. I was watching Conan the Barbarian this morning, and you texted me, and I thought, Sunday Segue or Arnie? It's a tough choice, but you guys just came out on top.
That's nice. I love that. Vicky Earls and Matt E. French were meant to be on the show today, but they both had family stuff to deal with, so it's all good. Hope everyone's okay. For both of you, so I'll holler at you soon. But yeah, Steve, so how you been? Did you watch any of the FA Cup yesterday?
I didn't. I was working yesterday because I've got because I'm now working Sundays, and so I can't do today. So thank you very much, man. Paid work. It's been a long time coming. But I work Sundays now, and so because I'm not working today, I had to do yesterday instead, so I didn't get to see any football, unfortunately.
Okay, well, there's been a few high scores, Swansea there, West Brom there, a few couple madness. Hopefully, another high score will be United later on. James Wilson banging in 4 goals. Fingers crossed. Darren, Wrestle Kingdom. I mean, we're going to talk a bit about it later, not in terms of what happened, but just the card itself, because we both haven't watched it yet. So, but yeah, how's things been, man?
Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. Good Christmas and New Year. So, kicking off the New Year with a bang, obviously, later on with Wrestle Kingdom 9.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Well, I mean, like I said earlier, I'm going to try and hold off as much as I can because I'm trying to do the Wrestle Kingdom 8 to Wrestle Kingdom 9 jobby. So, hopefully, we'll try and get it done. If not, well, sad times for me. I'm just going to have to watch it. But yeah, glad you had a good Christmas and New Year's. Do anything good for New Year's?
No, I was just at my parents' house listening to my dad always plays this crappy generic party music, so I know listening to that.
Old Lang Syne and all that.
Yeah.
Shugs, how was your New Year's?
Yeah, it was good. We just went to the pub and ended up just getting on a mad wavy sesh. Had a lock in, and then we were just there till 3 o'clock in the morning. After we went out for a quiet beer.
A quiet beer, and it ended up on the yard man wearing nephews. Just licked it. Football, did it start back? Did it start back this weekend, or was it starting
rained off yesterday? So no football. I went and bought a new TV instead.
So man is proper gearing up for the PS4 sesh. That's what he's doing. He's got a PS4 for Christmas. He's got 2K15. He's got the new TV. How much?
47.
Oh, Rasta. That's nice. How much?
It wasn't bad actually. It was $399. I went Argos, and I was looking for an LG, but it was sold out. And then I just put that extra £40 on, and just upgraded. So
so my
got that
LG,
smart
yeah?
TV. Now I got a Toshiba. It's nice,
Toshiba. Oh man, I gotta get myself one, but right now times is hard. so I can't really splash the cash. But soon come. All right, let's get into the show, people. That's right. Listen to the Sunday Segue. Make sure you check out our website, the Sunday Segue .weebly.com. Also, you can follow us on Twitter. That's at Sunday Segue. Segue spelled SEGUE. Please like us on Facebook. Email us, the Sunday Segue at gmail.com. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Rate us on iTunes. Podomatic. We're also on TRN, the Talking Wrestling Network. Stitcher Radio, Mixcloud, and don't forget to download that Double Twist player. Now, shout out, sorry, I can't run the shout out today. We've got a lot going on. We've got a lot to get through, so sorry about your damn luck, but I'll get you all in next week. But yeah, thanks for following us. Also, I just want to give a few shout outs to obviously our partners in crime, Max Wrestling E-Magazine. They're going to have their new issue coming out very, very soon. We're looking at the road to WrestleMania, so there'll be a lot of fantasy booking going on. So you can look at their website. It's matchwrestling.emagazine.weebly.com. Also, our other partners in crime, that's Wrestling Video News, where you can find all the latest DVD releases for all wrestling promotions. That's wrestlingvideonews.com. Also, Chad B. Rotten Broughton, Courtney, Open Turnbuckle, also Open Turnbuckle Expo still on a Saturday. Yeah, make sure you check them out. So, let's go into Raw. Now, Raw, we had a bit of, the beginning of Raw last year, January to maybe till May. Really good. We had fun. And then after that, it just was balls, especially ending 2015 was just shit. And it looks like we started off 2015 with a nice Raw. Thank God. Shook. So, we start off segment 1. Start off with E and C, Edge and Christian. Love that pyro. Absolutely love that pyro. So I was just happy to see this guy come back. What was your thoughts on E and C opening the show and their overall kind of participation? Because they were involved quite a lot.
Yeah, going back to the pyro, my favourite obviously was the Tony Chimmel, where he went in on the rated. Yeah, he just went in because he's always ribbing Edge, and he just took it to the next level with that one. But yeah, I think it's good. Sometimes the nostalgia segments, they don't really pay off, when the Rocks come back and other people have come back. But I thought this was quite good. They got a few laughs at the crowd, and it's a nice change, I guess. If they're going to have somebody up there and they're going to talk for 16 minutes at the beginning of the show, then it's good if they're going to put someone different in there. If that's the way they're going to do it every single week, it's good to actually mix it up.
Darren, Brock comes out with Heyman. What was your views on Heyman's delivery here? But as he brings up ENC's injuries to play into storyline.
Well, I thought Heyman delivered well because obviously, he always does, doesn't he? But the thing that sort of got me with it all is when they sort of spoke about Christian's retirement and that. Proper send-off, but Heyman was as brilliant as ever, talking about Brock doesn't want to end the career of two people that careers have already ended, and no, I just thought he was as good as ever.
It's interesting how, me and Trick was talking about it earlier on in the week and how Jerry kind of slipped up, but yeah, well, they haven't announced anything, but apparently it's confirmed, the concussions and stuff, so, he should get a send-off, but it's kind of past that now, I suppose, so they might not do it. They might just air a little special or something on the network. But yeah, it was a weird one. I loved how Heyman was conquer the virgin neck of everyone's hero, John Cena. The virgin neck.
He comes out with some really random stuff, doesn't he?
I know. The reigning and defending. I just love when he gets into that mode, and it's just he just knows it, just reels it off, just like it's nothing. Just reels it off, reels it off.
Does he really have to call him the defending champion, though? Because he doesn't defend it, does he?
Yeah.
You just call him the reigning champion. Actually give us something that makes sense.
Oh, it's just where he's the murky waters. He just says some random stuff. But, Steve, Cena comes out with every intention of being serious, which is nice for a change. Do WWE have a little bit of a problem though with the importance of the booking of this match, as it, they're billing it as the final battle?
Yeah, I think they really need to. They need to take care of how they book this, because they need to keep Cena strong into Mania season. They need to keep Brock strong. And first match you had SummerSlam where Cena just got absolutely destroyed. and then was it Night Champions the rematch?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was more even. So I'm not sure how they're going to finish this. The finish will be very, very important in this.
Because it gives us a clue to what's happening at WrestleMania. Because I mean, obviously with Brock, we don't know what's happening. There's talks obviously with WWE can't afford him, the deal and all of that with UFC and maybe Bellator. But we just don't know. So it's going to be definitely interesting who comes out on top, whether Rollins will be involved in this. We just don't know. But that's why I'm really intrigued about what's going to happen. Let's move on. Ziggler versus Rusev. This was billed as obviously champion versus champion, but it's not actually champion versus champion. I mean, Darren, I thought this match kind of made both men look strong. Ziggler being protected now. Does that maybe give us a clear indication that, things will happen for Ziggler this year?
Well, I'd like to think so. I mean, there was an article on WWE.com where they said that it was like the top 15 stars to watch out for. And he was on the list. And I'm hoping, like you say, that it gives just like a bit of hope for Dolph for next year. Sort of moving forward, because like 2013 he had a decent year up until he had his concussion. This year, obviously in the last 6 months, he's had a really strong run, and then hopefully that's just going to continue going down. But I thought he looked quite strong in this match.
I thought that he's got a lot more airtime towards the end of last year, and maybe this year he should get some more airtime in terms of promos, because obviously we know he's a good promo, but he hasn't been given the platform to kind of do it on, really, because they look to him to obviously do the matches, the core bit, the matches, and not necessarily talk that much. So hopefully that happens. Steve, Rusev again really strong here, using heel tactics a lot at the end. For Rusev to hit the next level, kind of heel status, do you think that Rusev should be he should beat Cena before a babyface comeback for Cena, similar to how Taker and Hogan kind of played out when Taker first arrived?
Yeah, I think the ultimate rub when you're an up-and-comer, the ultimate rub is not only just meeting Cena, but actually beating him. I think that they do need to get him in with Cena after WrestleMania, have him lose the the US title around Mania time, and move him into a non-title feud with Cena, so he can actually get a win.
So when he loses the US title, does he lose in a triple threat where he doesn't get pinned?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That probably sounds about right. But again, we just don't know what's happening for WrestleMania season. We could easily say, Cena may not win at Rumble, and then go into a program with with Rusev at Mania, which obviously it wouldn't be too soon because he hasn't been pinned yet. So yeah, very interesting. All right, the next segment, which was Ryback promo. Ryback comes out after Ziggler gets the accolade through the ropes, gets string up by Rusev. He comes down to make the save. Meet Hook, and he's gone. Then Ryback stays in after the break, and he's in the ring busting a deep promo. What was your thoughts on this? Because I thought it was a nice kind of touch to the show.
Yeah, because obviously when he first came and was at the first push as Ryback, he didn't really talk, he didn't really say anything, and this is probably the first time, even through his, he went up against Punk, he went up against Cena, this is the first time he's actually come across and actually done a decent promo and said anything worth listening to on the mic. But it makes us think, like, where's he going to go from here? So are they pushing him as a babyface now, a full-on babyface, and he's going to be like this character, or like where's the next step? Because this might just be an isolated something that they did on Raw, and then we'll never go back to it again, which is what usually happens.
Yeah, true. I loved the way that he was like, this isn't a USA versus Russia thing. It's a big man kicking another big man's ass thing. I loved that, because I'm tired of this USA Russia thing. Like, it shouldn't be just about him being Russian anymore. That's been played out now, twice with Swagger, Big E, whatever you want to call it, Sergeant Slaughter, whatever. But it's been played out now. Let's move on to Rusev being the Bulgarian brute and just fucking guys up. Let's just keep it like that. Darren, we obviously just kind of said, but is this also a good indication that they're kind of getting behind Ryback? Because I don't think he's lost. since he's got the push. And it seems like obviously it's Royal Rumble season, so that may be a reason why he's getting, you know, a little push.
Yeah, I mean, I was sort of thinking through it. Could he be the one to win the US title from Rusev? Well, maybe like what Steve said, like in a triple threat match where he pins another, and that sort of maybe it bring back a bit of prestige to that championship. I mean, Rusev's doing a good job as the champion anyway, but it just helped bring back a bit more prestige to the title, and it helped Ryback as well moving forward because he's not held any gold, has he, since he's been in the company. So I think it'd be a nice little thing for him to actually win something and help his push.
Steve, who else will benefit on the roster, do you think, from, you know, some airtime or promo like, you know, Ryback had?
Well, I'd say first people that spring to mind probably the Usos. I mean, they've won the tag title back, and we still don't know much about them. All we know about them is they're Rikishi's sons. I mean, they had that special on the network a few months ago, which I really enjoyed, and they just don't seem to get any character development at all.
Do you think Barrett in this position would have a good? He would do a good promo in this position. Maybe not necessarily, from an emotional standpoint, but just saying where he's come from and how he's, you know, worked hard to get to where he is, and he's gonna work hard to make sure he gives his opponents as much bad news as possible, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, but,
yeah, I mean, we don't know too much about Barrett, do we? I mean, Michael Cole occasionally mentions on commentary that he used to do bare fist fighting, but that's about it. So yeah, I think I'd actually quite like to see Barrett get a long promo.
Oh, don't worry, I got a double rant coming. Oh,
double
rant coming.
Double
yeah,
music.
man. All right, let's move on. Usos versus Miz and Mizdow. Darren, I thought, you know, this was a good match for TV. Of course, you know, they're no Young Bucks, but a good match for Raw. Why do you think that they took the titles off Miz and Sandow, though? What's your thought on that?
I don't know. I couldn't sort of see what the payoff was to it. I mean, obviously I know they've had this like little feud like between Miz and Jimmy Uso, obviously over Naomi recently, but there was no sort of build as such to the title match. It was just we got a tag team title match. So, well, I don't understand why they put them on them now instead of at the Royal Rumble, maybe.
Yeah. And as well, it was just like Naomi's just like, yeah, or Jimmy's just like, yeah, we got you. You know, it was a plan, and it just like, it didn't feel like a plan, it didn't look like a plan, it just looked like the beginning of something, and then just kind of just ended it.
I mean, I have read that the initial plan, I don't know if it still is in the works, but was for Naomi to turn heel to join Miz, but.
Oh, I wouldn't want that, especially when we all know he's married to Maurice. And he said he's married, and we've already had Nikki turn. I think Naomi needs to run with the Divas title, but anyway. Steve, Shugs, you got anything else to add on Usos?
I think the reason the Usos got the belts back is so they can be fed to the Ascension in a couple of months.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. It's just they want to build the Ascension, so if there's a heel tag team champions, then, you know, it's no direction for the Ascension, because there's no slow builds anymore. So, you know, the Ascension are probably going to be fighting for the tag team titles in a few weeks, because it's just a piece of crap.
I feel like, though, if they do put them on the Ascension, that is a lot more entertaining than their NXT Championship run.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking awful.
That was shit, man. That was shit. Alright, let's move on. Cesaro versus BMB. Now, Shugs, when I saw Cesaro with the mic, I know we talked about this, you know, a couple of days ago. I thought we were going to get a sick promo. He's going to run down the system, or maybe not run down Vince, but, you know, run down the authority or whatever, and then he just jobs out.
Yeah, it was just like, they just teased us, basically, you know, made it look like it was going to be good, and made it look like, you know, this is what we've been waiting for, and then same old crap.
Turd sandwich. Just, Steve, glad to see BMB back though, because obviously roster's thin, and he suffered a lot of injuries at horrible times.
Yeah, he just hasn't had the right run, has he? I mean, he had that after the Nexus run. He got injured after the Nexus, and yeah, he's got this. Was it a shoulder injury or something he got this time?
Yeah.
He had to lose the IC title. Has he lost the IC title more than once, or am I imagining that?
No,
through injury. Okay, I must be thinking something else.
No, wait a minute. What happened? He was due to win Money in the Bank, and then in the Battle Royal, he got fucked up. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really glad to see him back. I'm a big fan of Bad News Barrett, even if he has blocked me on Twitter.
He blocked you?
He's blocked me. I don't know why.
You don't know why? He just blocked.
No.
Oh shit! That's like some Bingus shit going on. Bingus gets blocked on a daily basis by people.
He had a run in with Goldust, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh man. All right. You got anything else to add, Darren?
I was just going to say, is Barrett face now? Because they were cheering for him, but he didn't do anything to shut him up.
Yeah, that's it. That's an interesting thought. I never thought about that actually. He may be one of those non-obvious baby faces where he obviously doesn't pander to the crowd, but you know, yeah. It's interesting to see how that plays out. Actually, all right. Next, Harper versus Swagger. Steve, what was your thoughts on the match and the chemistry between the two? Because essentially this is the first time we've seen this happen. Because obviously Swagger's a face now.
Yeah, this is the first segment of the whole show. I just didn't really care for. I mean, they've totally killed Harper's singles run already. I just didn't see the point in giving him a 3-week title reign. Totally pointless.
Yeah, it didn't help build him up or kind of anything really. Yeah, I suppose it was for Ziggler to kind of claw back and have a series of matches. But yeah, speaking of series of matches, just want to point out, fucking Ambrose and Wyatt again. What the fucking hell? It don't deserve a rant, but jeez, man.
This must be about number 5, 6.
Oh man, and you're shitting on it with all these gimmicks. Oh fucking hell. Anyway,
they actually had a straight out wrestling match.
I can't wait. Was their first one a straight out wrestling match?
I can't remember.
I don't think it was.
No, their first one was the actual TLC match, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh god.
No, Survivor Series where they ended it with the tables, ladders, and chairs, wasn't that? That was a straight out wrestling.
Oh yeah, you're right, and it was a DQ, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh god. DQ finishes. Shugs, is Harper losing a bit of mystique about him, or does it even matter? Because obviously, he delivers in the ring consistently.
Yeah, I think that I think Harper can always fall back on his wrestling, but then it's like they've got to keep him sort of, but at least like semi-strong and interesting, not just put him in to have good matches, which is what happened with Ziggler, and it was what happens with Cesaro, and then you just look and they're just floating around the mid-card doing nothing, and that's what they're going to do with him, But then they did the same with Eric Rowan,
Yeah.
What's he doing? Big Red, or whatever they call him, Booger, Big Booger.
Well, he weren't even around, so who knows? Darren, Zeb Coulter, is he done?
I don't think so. I think he's had some sort of surgery, but he definitely has to Swagger because Swagger's shite on the mic, isn't he? So
yeah, without him, I don't know if he could survive.
Unless they sort of change his gimmick again or his character again.
Mm-hmm.
I think he does need Zeb, though.
Oh, definitely. All right, next we've got Reigns versus Rollins. Shugs, we've talked all week about Reigns and about Rollins. Rollins clearly carried this match. I thought it was a good match for what it was. But what's your thoughts on Reigns after watching this match and seeing what Rollins has to offer in terms of being a top guy?
Well, I just think that he's behind Rollins on every level. He's behind Rollins on every level you can think of, apart from his probably views by management or his views from Vince McMahon, because he's not as good in the ring as him, he's not as good on the mic as him, he's not as good as any part of it as Rollins, but he's probably going to be positioned higher than him in the company.
Yeah, it's weird because it makes, like, if that's the case and Rollins has everything, okay, and you want to build Reigns as the top guy in the, to take over from Cena, yada yada yada. I don't understand what the rush is. Why, maybe Cena's winding down, but I don't understand what the rush is to do it right now when you have a guy like Rollins that has everything that is needed right now to just carry it right now. A la when Austin got injured and he was out, and Triple H took that. He took that and he ran with it until Austin came back, or until The Rock was, around, and that was perfect. Rollins could do a similar job until Reigns is actually ready. Look at what's happened with Rollins at the moment, being in that position. He's been amazing. So why not have it for another year? And then Reigns, we get sick of Rollins in a storyline way, being the heel like Triple H was when he had the World Heavyweight title for ages. And then when Batista finally took it off him, we were all like, fuck, that was sick, He could do the same thing. Have Rollins have a title for a long time, and then Reigns just beats him. Could that make more sense, Shugs?
Yeah, I just think that it's not going to happen. That's the thing.
Yeah.
We know that they've positioned Roman Reigns. He's on deck, he's the next one to be the top guy, and no matter any of his deficiencies, they're still going to put him in that position.
Oh man. All right, Darren. Let's go on to Big Show. Yeah. How important was Big Show's role on commentary in terms of making Rollins look super credible and carrying the storyline?
Yeah, I thought he was brilliant, because Cole was just sort of being cold towards him, sort of saying, "Well, you're only out here because Roman Reigns is in the match." He said, "No, I'm coming to see my friend Seth Rollins. He's the future of the company," and he was really putting Rollins over, which I think it not only helped Big Show with the role that he's playing at the moment, but it helped Rollins more so.
Mm-hmm. All right, and at this moment, Shugs, play my music for the Raw Announce team. Right, Big Show. Yeah, he had a role to play. He had a specific thing to do, which was get Rollins over, and he did it. Why the fuck is it so hard for these three fucks to get any of these wrestlers over? I don't understand how hard it is for these guys to just do anything right. They have a specific thing to do. Talk about the match and get these guys over. Make us believe that these guys are the shit. Not that they're shit, that they are the shit. Fuck, we don't give a fuck about what you have to say in terms of getting in your punchlines, getting in your jokes, here, there, and everywhere. Useless uber facts. I don't give a damn. I want to know what's happening in the match. I want to know why I should have my stock in BMB. Why I should have my stock in Cesaro. Why I should do this. Why I should do that. You should be covering for fucking Cesaro when he makes a mistake. Not fucking running him down, making him look even more silly. That don't make any sense. That don't make any sense whatsoever. Get these guys off. Get Tom Phillips, William Regal in that seat. Just get rid of Lawler. He don't need to be there anymore. Make him an agent. Do something else. JBL, I like him when he's not with those two. But just get them away. Just get them away. It's just stupid. Why is Cole on SmackDown with Tom Phillips? Let him run his shit himself, innit? Just let him run it himself. You don't need Cole there putting his 2 cents in. You don't need his hand holding. You did it on NXT, fine. You don't need your fucking hand. Let it go. Anyway, Steve, Big Show got involved and literally threw Reigns over the table. Storyline build here was great. What was your thoughts on the fact that this made so much sense in terms of the end of Raw?
What was the end? I can't remember what the end of Raw was.
Well, in terms of obviously, Reigns not being around to help.
Yeah, now that you come to think of it, it does make sense now, because you see so many times people get beaten up, and you think, well, hang on, their mate should be coming down to save them, but Reigns got taken out. And he didn't come down for the final segment. And
then Big Show flipped the table on him, and I thought that that's the strongest I've seen Big Show and meanest I've seen Big Show look in a long time. In a long time.
They're booking him well. He's obviously going to be fed to Reigns, but he needs to be booked strongly, and they're doing a really good job of him. I'm enjoying Big Show at the moment.
All right, let's move on to the Daniel Bryan announcement. Shucks, we glad he's not retiring. Obviously, just he could have come out here. Obviously at the beginning of the show we had the little video package for Edge. Then Ryback starts talking. There's Cesaro, and it just seems like we've got an emotional feel to the show. Maybe they're setting up something. WWE must be counting their bloody blessings that he's back now for Mania season, innit?
Well, yeah, I think and we should be as well, because it means at least there's maybe like a question of what's going to happen, or at least there's a chance that their plans might get changed somehow, rather than the inevitable, rather than what we had last year when we knew Batista was coming back and he was going to win.
Mm-hmm. Where now though, Darren? Where now? Does he win the Rumble?
No, I mean what I'd like to see is him maybe eliminate Rollins. Rollins has like a dominant performance in the Rumble. Bryan comes in and eliminates him pretty much straight off the bat, and then Rollins comes back later on to eliminate Bryan, and it sets up a feud for WrestleMania. That's what I'd like to see happen, because you give them 25-30 minutes and you're going to have what me and Tim call a Randy Marsh moment.
Could you imagine? This match would be so off the chain for WrestleMania. Like, Daniel Bryan would be like, obviously going crazy that he's back and he'll want to, put on a good show. And Rollins, he's just been performing amazing. And you need the two best guys that knows each other in and out and who can bust moves that, what we want to see. We want to see a proper wrestling match. We don't want to see no gimmicks. That's what we'll get. And if that happens, I'll be glad. I'll be glad for that. Do you want to add anything, Steve, about D.Bryan?
I'm going to say I think WWE may have written themselves into a corner, because obviously the plan, as far as I know at the moment, is for Reigns to win the Rumble. But now that Daniel Bryan's back and he's in the Rumble and everyone's happy, will the fans take anything less than a Daniel Bryan win? I think there's a danger we could see another Batista moment.
Yeah.
Batista heat for Reigns.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Well, they're talking about maybe changing it up. Changing up the result. Because obviously we saw what happened last year. And if that's the case, and someone else takes it down, who else will take it down for us, for the WWE Universe to feel satisfied, I suppose, that if Daniel Bryan doesn't win but someone else does win, you know what I mean? It points to Ziggler being one of them. But yeah, maybe you're right. I mean, if Reigns does win it and Daniel Bryan's in the Rumble and he doesn't win it, it's gonna be a bit of a Houston, we have a problem, literally.
And it was Reigns last year that came second, so he'd come second last year and then win it this year and still get the same reaction.
Exactly. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, who else could win? Really? Any suggestions? Who else could win to make the end of the Rumble seem, good compared to last year?
I would say Ambrose, but they're not going to go down that route, are they?
No.
And it's like,
I mean, he's more over than half the fucking roster anyway, and Vince still doesn't see him as a top guy, so you kind of lose all faith in the guy.
Well, the only way that works is if, imagine, what would you think? A three-way for the world title at WrestleMania between the old Shield guys.
Yeah, but
that'd be nice. I'll tell you what, a few months ago, probably around SummerSlam time, I was thinking, how cool would it be if the final three in the Rumble were Ambrose, Rollins, and Reigns? That would be a nice little moment.
Yeah, no, that would.
Yeah.
But I suppose the only way it could happen is if Ambrose wins the Rumble, Rollins cashes in, and then it's Ambrose Rollins at WrestleMania, and just keep Reigns still taking over for a bit. But it's all wishful thinking. We know it's not going to happen. We know they're licking his ass too much to the point where they're pushing him too much in our face. I don't blame him. I blame obviously management, but yeah.
The thing is as well, is Reigns has got talent. He's just not ready yet. I mean, if you give him a year or so, like if you did it for WrestleMania 32, then yeah, he probably would be ready, but he's just not ready now.
Yeah.
Especially after just coming off of a big injury.
and it's funny because JR keeps saying, you know, when people keep asking about Reigns, is he ready? Is he ready? He comes off with the same response, you know. Well, by God, it's not WrestleMania season yet. Come around to WrestleMania season, I'll give you an answer. Well, we're here, JR. We're here. You know, he's not ready, mate. It's as simple as that. You know, so I want someone to ask him on his show again and see what he comes out with. All right, Ascension versus the Miz and Mizdow. Debut of the Ascension, Steve. How do you reckon they did?
Well, I've never been a big fan of the Ascension anyway, but I don't like their new look, their new war paint. It's very sort of hokey and very sort of Powers of Pain, very 80s. What is the danger in just letting them run with their NXT look for, say, a month and a half or so, see how that gets on?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, there was NXT chats going on.
Yeah.
Darren, could their introduction have been done better, like differently? Because me and Shugs have talked about this before, and maybe, you know, the whole cliche of them coming in for a match to start off, and that's how they introduce us, introduce them to us. Could it have been done better?
I think things can always be done better, to be honest with you. I mean, their promos, like Steve said, is very 80s like. The thing that I've just got written down here on my notes is LOD. Because it just reminded, like, with the paint, with the promos, it just reminded me of the Legion of Doom, so it was kind of taking a back step. So yeah, it could have been done a hell of a lot better.
It'll be funny if they get the Yar chants going.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
Yar chants. Oh my God, I hate them.
But, I mean, I've said it before. Couldn't they have just fucked up the Usos after they won the tag titles? Simple as. Don't even just announce, obviously, say they're coming, and they just turn up. They just turn up and just F up the Usos after they win. And then they try and, you know, someone tries to go in and talk to them, and they just walk off. Just keep that mystique. We don't know shit about them. All we know is they're fucking people up. That's better than we know a little about them, and they're just coming in and doing nothing, really. Because like Shug said, they're probably going to come and just start doing nothing for the next couple of weeks, really. But yeah, Shugs, what's your thoughts on the Miz and Mizdow? You know, obviously doing the squash job straight after. You know, does this lead to now a Royal Rumble kind of beef?
Yeah, I hope that they're not just gonna do nothing with them now. That they're gonna carry on and at least they have like a send off, or at least there's some type of payoff for their feud or for their relationship. You know, there's not just like, oh yeah, they're done, or they don't just drag out for too long.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's move on. Before we go on to the final segment, which was the Cutting Edge Peep Show, Shugs, play my motherfucking music for the WWE's use of Brock Lesnar. Now, this guy is paid how much money? How much money per appearance? You get this guy on this fucking show. He stood there, yeah, doesn't say a word. He runs, obviously, he comes off from Cena at the beginning, obviously, after the AA attempt. Then he comes out at the end, stands there, shakes Rollins' hands, and does absolutely shit. He is laughing, bruv. He is laughing at you. He's taking up money, taking up belt, and being like, yeah. Of course I'm going to do that date if you fly me in and give me this much money. Of course I'm going to come in just to do absolutely nothing. What the fuck? This guy could have at least gone in there, right? And done he could have done the armbar, what's it called? The
Kimura.
The Kimura lock on Edge, because that wouldn't be hurting his neck or anything like that. You know, he could have done it on Edge and used Brock Lesnar as the tool for Cena and still have Rollins talking, still have Rollins, you know, what's it called, running his mouth. You could have still had that, and yet Brock would have been involved. But no, he just comes out, stands there. You're fucking wasting money. You're wasting money. Money you don't have, because you can't re-sign him. You can't re-sign him, but yet you're just going to throw money at him anyway to do nothing. Stupid. Shugs, I thought the segment, though, was well booked. Told an absolutely amazing story. Rollins is now the man. I don't care what anyone says. He is now the guy. He portrayed his heel character great here. Using Edge as bait, forcing Cena's hand. I can't speak highly enough of Rollins at the moment, man.
Yeah. I just thought it was really good, but I thought it went too long. You know what I mean? Like the whole decision-making process, and for Cena to like come round and say, you know, I'm bringing the authority back. It just took too long. You know, that would be my only gripe with it. I thought it was really good. It's good use of Edge. Rollins was great. You know, everything about it was good, and it was. I think it was too soon as well to bring back the authority. But
I love the way
they worked it. You know, it actually made sense for once. But I just thought it was too soon.
I love the way that he just hit Christian, and then Edge was like, before he even thought, he was just like, yeah, what the fuck you doing? Like, pushes him, and then I just love the way they circle him, and then you just see J&J, like, looking like, you gonna jump? Come on in, you gonna jump? Like, looking just to jump him. I love that. Steve, Shug's just said it. Was it too soon to bring back the authority?
Well, when it first happened, I said yes, but now I'm not a huge fan of the authority coming back, but I can see where they're going with it. I can see Triple H versus Sting at Mania, and then Sting wins and the authority's gone for good. I can see Sting being the one to banish them forever.
Well, interesting you saying that, because they could have prolonged this, and authority couldn't have come back. At this point, Sting could have come in to stop, to obviously stop what happened from happening. They could have Rollins could have still been begging for Cena to do what he did. Still could have had Edge like that. We hear it's and he comes running, and he comes running, and it's just puts a stop to the authority coming back. But no, 3 months of storyline build is done in 3 hours, and they're just back already. Same old shit. Daz, on Twitter, Ed said that he's passed the torch to Rollins, so don't let it go out. Is he right after the rise, his rise in 2014 and the way that he started 2015?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking just now, Seth Rollins is probably the best heel since Edge. What was he, around 2006, 2007, when he was like red hot, wasn't he? And he's probably the best heel since then. Really, nothing else really stands out. Maybe apart from Mark Henry, but nothing else really stands out to say that. Like somebody's taken the brass ring, so to speak, as the top heel in the company. I think this promo just established Rollins in that position.
All right, well, that's the end of Raw, people. So let's get the Raw rating. Shugs?
I thought maybe like a 6. It's better than it has been.
Okay. Darren?
7.5.
7.5. Steve?
I'm going with 7.
Yeah, I really like this Raw. I really liked it. It was definitely different over the last couple of weeks, so it was nice to have this. Right, let's go to the Raw feedback. Right, let's get up to Facebook. Right, so the Cookie Cutter podcaster himself, Michael Cook, he says, good show with 2 good promos from Ryback and Daniel Bryan. Cesaro had mic time, but I have seen this before where mid-carder has thinks he needs to change in his promo, and then immediately gets his ass kicked in the match. I thought the video package at the start of the show was very clever, showing Edge having to retire due to injury. This made you think of the announcement Daniel Bryan is going to make. So Bryan is in the Rumble match. Well, that's buggered Roman Reigns as a face. If anyone other than Bryan wins the Rumble, it will be shit on by the fans like Batista last year. I really can't believe they are making the same mistake this year. Shugs, you gonna run through Billy Johnson?
Billy Johnson. Yeah, let me see more. Why'd you give me the long ass one, man? Billy Johnson. Overall, this week was okay show, but I really watch every week these days, so that may be why I thought it was okay. Anyway, good to see Ryback get to show his passion for the wrestling business like he did on the Jericho podcast. Strange how a lot of the stuff he mentioned on podcast was during his promo. Good to see Cesaro get some promo time, and then it was back to bad news for him, doing the job yet again. I reckon Vince and his cronies has given up on the master of WWE Universe, and that is a bloody shame in my opinion. Do we really need to see another gimmick match involving Ambrose and Wyatt? Obviously Dean needs to win after losing most of his high profile matches over the year, but I still think he'll be taking a ride in the ambulance match. So to what everyone's complaining about, the authorities return. Personally, I didn't have a problem with them being back, but the way they got back on TV so quickly made no sense to me. Hadn't they been banished by Cena, and then they just show up out of nowhere? Cena was forced to bring them back in a day and age where we struggled to fill 3 hours of Raw, when it made more sense to hold off their actual return until next week. were they really needed on this show. Enjoyed the Edge and Cena segment, set up everything nice for later on the show. Finally, I have to add, what the hell were they doing with Brock? I guess the WWE have figured out that Brock is going back to UFC or Bellator. They pay him all that money per appearance and then just come with no build, no tease, being given an attitude adjustment, just pointless in my opinion.
Okay, we've got Steve is here, so yeah.
My one was really long. Feel happy that you don't have to read that now.
All right, we're going to go to a bit of a break now, but we'll be back with RIP Smackdown in 60 seconds, where we'll be talking about Wrestle Kingdom 9, Sugs Stunners, Beat the Clock Final, and Track of the Week, so don't you miss it. And we're back, people. Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast, episode 93. It's your boy, Kinny Killa. Obviously here with the hashtag tech guy, Sugs. We are also here with Darren Dyer, and we are also here with the master of the top rope elbow. That's right, it's Mr. Steve Dawson. So we're going to go into RIP Smackdown in 60 seconds and just talk a bit about New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom 9. Now, me and Sugs have just got into New Japan a bit. I'm going on a bit of a binge at the moment over the Christmas period. Sugs is loving off Tanahashi. It's just been good just to see something else. Obviously, they haven't got the production, Sugs, but at the same time, the storylines, but at the same time, it's good just to be watching some really good wrestling, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's like, obviously, without the English commentary all the time, you've just got to just enjoy it for what it is, You've got to make your own mind up and enjoy the wrestling and try and enjoy the characters and how they come across, and it still works, even though you don't know what they're saying, or, it's still entertaining. Where on WWE, you know exactly what they're saying, exactly what they're doing, and it's shit. So they must be doing something right in New Japan.
Yeah, man. I just love the way that even though we don't know what they're saying, when they say the moves, it's like, that's how they should be selling this shit. Bueno bastard! That's what you want to be hearing, you know what I mean? Like, oh, DDT! Like, you want to hear that shit. Like, a simple DDT, and they are fucking screaming for that shit. Like, I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, Darren, I know you watch New Japan a lot, and well done for that, because obviously it's amazing. But let's just go through the card, okay? Because obviously the pre-show, we've got the 15-man New Japan Rumble. Yushin Liger, sorry. We also got Tiger Mask, Yuji Nagata. The usual suspects in the pre-show. Obviously, it's going to be one of those things like it's always like on a pre-show. It's just to get, to get the ball rolling. So it's not going to be much to talk about. But what I'm interested in is the 4-way tag match, though, for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Championship. Red Dragon, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly versus Forever Hooligans, Alex Kozlov, Rocky Romero, Time Splitters, Alex Shelley, Kushida, and the Young Bucks. Young Bucks, stand-up performance of last year. This match, it could steal the show, couldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I would say if Tanahashi versus Okada wasn't on the show, it would be the match of the night. But I'm a Red Dragon guy, to be honest with you. As much as I love all three teams, all three of the other teams, just Red Dragon, just over the last sort of 4 months or so, because I watch a lot of Ring of Honor as well. Just the way that they come across. Bobby Fish is brilliant, like when he's not actually in the match. I just love the way he plays the referee, plays the crowd, plays the opponents. I just think he's just fucking amazing. And it's just a shame he's not sort of 10 years younger, because I think he's in his mid-30s now. Okay. Because Kyle's sort of, I think he's about 26, 27. I think they really could make that bigger jump into like the WWE if it wasn't for Bobby's age.
I haven't seen much of Red Dragon. I don't watch ROH. Obviously, I've heard of them. So through my New Japan binge, I'm going to obviously seeing them when they take the titles down and stuff off the Young Bucks. I've seen a lot of the Time Splitters because obviously I've loved Alex Shelley from I first seen him TNA. He's worked well with Kushida. The next match after that is Bullet Club, 6-man tag. Bad Luck Fale. Been seeing him for the first time a bit recently. Reminds me of Big Daddy Cool Diesel a bit.
Yeah.
And Jeff Jarrett. That was a weird one when he first came in. Obviously, he's the links with the Global Force Wrestling, but it was a weird one, the fact that he got, put into the Bullet Club. But they'll be facing off against Tenzan, Kojima, and Honma. I'm not sure how that's going to... I don't think it's going to be something to speak about much, do you think?
I think it'd be what it is, to be honest with you. I was like, I was surprised Jarrett joined Bullet Club, to be honest with you, but wasn't he in the NWA for a while as well?
Yeah.
So that's probably got something to do with it.
Well, there's no NWA representative on this. No Rob Conway. But we've got Suzuki Gun, Sharon Benjamin, Matt Archer, David Boy Smith Jr., Nizuka. That match will be alright, but I'm looking forward to the KO submission match with Sakuraba and Suzuki. That's going to be stiff as hell.
Yeah.
Stiff as hell.
Aside from the main, let's say they're all matches to in one way, shape or form, but that's probably one of the top 3 or 4 matches to look forward to, just because they're just going to beat the shit out of each other.
And then for me, definitely, it's got to be Kenny Omega. Can't wait to see that match. Kenny Omega, because I love Kenny Omega anyway. Yeah. Love him anyway since I first seen him against Taguchi. But then it has to be the Intercontinental Championship match, man. Nakamura versus Ibushi. Now Ibushi, I since I first seen him, love it. He's just amazing. He is amazing. The Golden Star has to be the next guy to win the heavyweight title. They might not. Do you reckon that they'll do it now, or do you reckon they'll wait a bit?
I think they'll wait. Maybe if he wins the New Japan Cup, or if he wins the G1 Climax, and then you get the big payoff. I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do the Okada, win the G1, and then at the next Wrestle Kingdom 10, probably win it and take it down. Yeah, that'd be good. And obviously we're going to see Tanahashi Okada again. Always love those matches. Steve, do you watch much of New Japan?
I don't know. I mean, I tried to get into it a few years ago, but it's the Japanese commentary that throws me off. I just can't get into the show if I can't understand what they're saying. Okay. I'm probably gonna watch this one though, because they got JR and Matt Striker on commentary, haven't they? Mm-hmm. So I think this might be a good starting point for me to actually get into it.
Yeah, definitely.
But I turned on Twitter this morning. Everyone on my timeline was live tweeting this, so I know most of the results, sadly, but I'm sure it'll still be good. I might watch that tonight.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's going to be good, interesting to see what JR does. Definitely going to be interesting with Matt Striker. I know JR's excited. Global Force Wrestling, what a thing to do. Jeff Jarrett's got them all. They're doing their thing. Trying to obviously get all the links happening before they can release Global Force Wrestling. No doubt they're going to start, using some of these guys. They could be, especially with these links, because you've got to think Noah. You got to think Noah, ROH, New Japan. If they use these guys, some of those guys regularly coming in and out, and not have guaranteed contracts and stuff, they could be a really, really good promotion, But they need also their core guys to build the thing around, which means that someone has to be at the top. I know New Japan will probably want AJ Styles to go, there and be their top guy. They're going to need someone, and it's just going to be interesting to see who their top guy actually is. We've got Hashi for New Japan, and obviously AJ Styles is there now. We've got Adam Cole and so on and ROH. So yeah, it'll just be interesting to see. All right, let's move on from that now. Let's go on to Sugs Stunners.
All right, Jobber of the week. I suppose it's got to be Cesaro. Started off, done his little promo, and we were all happy and was like, oh yeah, this is great. And then he just had to lose. Just had to lose again to bring back Bad News Barrett. So Cesaro, move of the week. I suppose I'm going to give it to the accolade through the ropes. Because Ziggler was spitting up and fucking going red and fucking, he sold it really well. He sells everything. And then Wrestle of the week is gonna be Seth Rollins.
Oh, I'm taking it down, man. Every time he's been our one for the last couple of weeks, man.
He's just doing it. He's taking his chance and he's just doing his thing.
My man runs. All right, it's time, people. It's been many months in the works, but we're here now. It's the Beat the Clock final. 2 Bristol looking it out. Something. Sugs, I believe, Mr. Head of Fan Relationships, Paris has sent you the questions. So yeah, take it away, Master
so,
of the quiz.
how are we going to do this?
Well, you
I've
could
got 2 question sets, and I'm going to let's see. I'm going to let Darren choose first. So,
he is the guest.
do you want to go first or second? You want
second.
Okay,
please.
so Kinny, do you want question set A or B?
A.
Set B.
Yep.
Okay, so
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go. What is Summer Rae's real name?
Pass.
Who inducted Jimmy Hart into the Hall of Fame?
Jimmy Hart.
No.
Pat Patterson.
No.
Hulk Hogan.
Yes.
Jerry Lawler.
Which wrestler's finishing move is the verdict?
The Verdict. Oh shit, I know that. The Verdict.
No
pass.
Way Out 2012. Who was the defending WWE champ?
No. Cena. Jeez. Oh gosh.
Yes.
CM Punk.
Who was the leader of the Un-Americans? No.
Christian.
Yes.
Lance Storm.
What year did Wade Barrett debut?
2008. 9.
No.
6.
Yes.
2010.
Who did Damien Sandow debut again?
Damien Sandow. Oh, jeez.
Time up.
Zack Ryder. Oh. Was that Ryder right?
Zack Ryder wasn't right.
Okay.
So you got 4. That's
Okay.
going to beat. I think he's bottled it. So.
Pressure.
Let me get the questions up. Alright, so let me reset this. So, Darren, are we ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Whose finisher is the long kiss goodnight?
Pass.
No Way Out 2009. Who was the defending WWE champ? No.
Triple H.
No.
Jeff Hardy. Edge.
Yep. Who was the leader of the Disciples of Apocalypse?
Pass.
Matthew Cardona is the real name of who?
Is it Zack Ryder?
What year did the first UK Rampage take place?
1989.
Yes. Who inducted Sergeant Slaughter into the WWE Hall of Fame?
Oh, shit. Pass.
Who did Jeff Hardy beat to win his first Intercontinental title?
Triple H.
At Backlash 2009, who did Edge defeat to win the World Heavyweight Championship? Yes.
John Cena.
Time up.
Oh, that's funny. Just as the last, that's the last question. Yes, time up. Well done, Daz.
Well played,
That's an
sir.
upset.
Well done, Daz. Oh, yeah, well done. Darren takes it down. Fellow Bristolian. If anyone was going to win it, it's going to be him. I'm very happy for him. Took it down.
So if we go back through Kinny's questions, Summer Rae's real name is Danielle Monette. Who inducted Jimmy Hart into the Hall of Fame? You've got that one. Jerry Lawler. Which wrestler's finishing move is the verdict? David Otunga. You've got Punk, who's the defending champ. The leader of the Un-Americans, Lance Storm. Wade Barrett debut 2010. Sandow debuted against Yoshitatsu.
Okay.
Finisher is the long kiss goodnight.
Oh,
I recognise that.
Is it too?
Is that?
Oh,
yeah.
No Way Out was Edge, the leader of the Disciples of Apocalypse.
yeah, I know this. It's what's it called? Brian Adams. What's his name?
Yeah.
Crush.
Zack Ryder, we got 1989. Sergeant Slaughter into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, Pat Patterson.
Yep. And yep, we got the other 2 right. So 5-4.
Nice. That was a nice one, man. James said good with the questions. Yeah, so well done, Daz. I don't know what you win. You definitely get a certificate, mate. that'll be in the post. But if you need anything, just let us know. Obviously, no money because we're broke out here. But yeah, well done, mate. The first winner of the Beat the Clock tournament. There we go. He's done it.
Thank you very much.
If we need, is there anything you want to say?
Speech.
Thank you to my mum and to my dad for not allowing me to watch wrestling as child, so I didn't know who the fuck the Disciples of the Apocalypse were.
All right. Seconds out there. If there's any way that you can help us with the format, just let us know what could be changed, how it could be improved, yada yada yada. That would be great because this one obviously went many months. So yeah, just let us know. All right. So that's the end of the show. That's the end of the show. What I like to do right now is I like to thank. Well, I'm not going to call him Super Sub because he's more than that to us. He's our cousin. He's our cousin out here. He's the original, Seghead original. That's right. Master of the Top Rope Elbow, Mr. Steve Dawson. Thanks for coming on, bro. Let the people know where they can find you on the Twitter.
You can find me at Top Rope Elbow, and I'd just like to quickly give a quick Jesus out to Vicky Els.
Indeed. Also, gotta thank my fellow Bristolian, Darren from coming on. He took it down. Oh man, it's great to have you on, Darren. Just let the people know where they can find you on the Twitter and where they can see Axel's analysis.
You can find me on the Twitter at Axel Mulligan, and you can listen to my all kinds of wrestling podcasts, it seems to be these days. Axel's analysis, that's on Podomatic, Mixcloud, and YouTube.
Okay. Obviously, can't do this without the goddamn Sugar Shugs.
It was a pleasure. Nice to, run a nice tight ship this week, not talking for fucking hours.
Yeah, I've been watching the clock. That was my first official loss on Beat the Clock. So there's my first loss. Mate, is there? I know. No prizes for second place, huh?
Sorry about your damn luck.
Yep. Steve, when you and Bingus go to Progress, can you please get a piece of A4 paper, write on there, hashtag we are Segheads, take a picture at the wrestling show and post it onto our website, please?
I will, mate.
Okay, nice one. Next week, next Saturday is the return of the Retro Round Table. Royal Rumble 1992, it'll be me, the Cookie Cutter podcaster himself, Michael Cook, also John Cooper. Hopefully, fingers crossed, if Shugs isn't busy, Shugs will be on the show as well. Next week, guys. Next week, we will have the head of fan relations, James Powers, also joined by Professor TNA. That's right. It is Mike Rodriguez. They will be on the show. So the theme of the week, track of the week, is Macho Man Randy Savage WCW theme. What's up, March?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. No, in the words of, just because I can do that. And if you don't like it, you can choke on that slap nuts. Woo!
What up, March?
Oh, yeah!